Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM shit show, Mr. and Mrs. Wade's edition. If you didn't catch my part 1, I'm going to link it down below in the description box. They are a power couple, they make all of these income claim, medical claims, they have a really weird dynamic in their relationship in my own opinion. I was doing this really boring admin work today, which is not something that I usually do, and I haven't done that in a while, and it's so repetitive, it's so boring, and it's never fucking ending that I got the urge. All of a sudden, I got the urge again to listen to Avenged Sevenfold and Old Nightwish. So can you imagine me just staring into the monitor doing the admin work and screaming Avenged Sevenfold songs? Don't forget to click the like and subscribe button if you would like to support me. Let's just put a little disclaimer in here. Let's get into this shit show of a call. They're basically going to say their downline should invite their upline into the calls because the downline is too stupid to do the calls properly, so they need their upline to do the calls with potential recruits. That's just my own opinion, but let's take a listen to it and you can let me know down below if you agree with me and what kind of lessons did you get from this call.
The industry about three-way calls, a lot about a lot of things. So we figured we'd bring them on. We'd kind of interview them here. And by the end of this, you're going to be like, whoa, I need to get my upline on three-way calls and I know how to do it. So we're going to kind of go through the system. So to start off, like Coach Neil, what is a three-way call?
Yeah. So the thing about a three-way call that's fascinating is you get in your business, you just started, you're excited, maybe you're getting ready for your 30 days, you're ready to go. And the first thing you want to do is tell all your friends and family about this great opportunity you have in front of you, how great the products are, how much money you're going to make. It's going to change your life. And while all those things are possible, the problem is you don't really know yet because you just joined. So as in any sort of business, when you work for one of my good friends, Jason, he just got a job at a company called Workday. And it took him 4 months to get trained before they let him start his job. So they hired him, paid him, and then 4 months later, they said, okay, now you're ready because of the training. Well, the same thing with this Arbonne system, right? So when you get started, before you go and tell all your friends all these great opportunities you have, what you want to do is use a three-way call to say, hey, look, I just started this great opportunity. I'm working with Sandy and Wade, awesome, loving couple, good friends of mine now. We're going to work together on this. Instead of me giving you all the details, let me get you on the phone with Sandy and or Wade, and then they can share with you the opportunity. And it does two things. One is you get to learn by listening to Sandy and Wade with your prospect. Number two is your prospect gets to see someone who's successful in the business and gets to learn from them, and they get to see that you're coachable, right? So it's a perfect match and the perfect opportunity to get a new person on board with another new person.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense in one hand, okay, because you're only joining the business and you haven't really tried out the product, you haven't really seen any success in it yet. 99% of people never see any success. But nonetheless, I feel like my fairy lights are gonna die. They look kind of faded to me, do they? Anyways, okay, on one hand, I get it. It makes sense. This whole thing makes sense. But on the other hand, why are you making people recruit people straight away? We know why, because that's where all the money is, right? And we want to recruit as much people. However, if it was a normal business model and if it wasn't so heavily reliant on recruitment, instead of this whole call convincing people that they need to bring their uplines into the calls, you could just be like, okay, so you're new here, you don't know anything yet, you haven't tried out the products, you haven't seen any success, so let's take 2 months. And in 2 months, when you have some more experience, when you know more about the products, when you have your own experiences that you can share with others, then you can start recruiting people. But no, let's just start them straight away. You need to recruit straight away, but you need to bring us onto the call because we have more experience. Do you know what I mean by this? Like, it's just stupid. Like I said, his argument does make sense, but then on the other hand, why are you making people recruit straight away then? It still doesn't make any sense. It's pyramid scheming.
So
Perfect.
good.
Did you want to add anything?
No, I love that. So why are they?
Yeah. So the three-way call, like literally it could be a three-way phone call where there's like, you, your prospect, and your upline. Let's say it could be Sandy or I, or it could be a Zoom call. We always love face is better if we can make that happen because you can see expression and energy. So it could be a three-way Zoom call, and that's all it is.
Let me give you a tip about Zoom versus phone calls, because I do client calls all day long, and Zoom is better, but phone calls are easier for busy people because you can be grocery shopping, A mom could be breastfeeding. You could be in the car. So when you want to set up the three-way call, you want to defer to the option with less objections. So you say to them, do you want to do a phone call or a Zoom? Because if you do a Zoom, that means you're now blocking their time and monopolizing their time. Whereas a phone call, they could be on a phone call where they're grocery shopping while they're waiting to pick up their kids at school. So just provide the prospect every opportunity to say yes, whether it's a Zoom call or a phone call.
Perfect.
I love it. So here?
Yeah, bye.
Okay, so why are they valuable in 1 minute or less?
Yeah, so I think it's great because, again, like we mentioned before, the person who just got involved in Arbonne, they're excited. They still haven't learned ins and outs about the comp plan, about the product, about...
If you watched part 1, remember that video where Mrs. Wade makes Wade say all the income claims and she's just snapping her fingers, and she's doing the same thing with this too. I feel like she's so used to bossing Wade around that she's doing it with other people too. And the worst thing is this guy's like, okay, let me explain everything in less than 1 minute. Mrs. Wade is master of puppets.
They don't know what to do. They're still new, but they have momentum with new people. So instead of throwing up on your new people, get them in front of Sandy and Wade and they'll handle it for you. And then it shows your prospects that, hey, I'm in a new business, but I'm training right now. I'm learning. I'm taking the 30 days to reset my body. But while I do that, I'm still going to present this business to you. But I'm going to take you to Wade and Sandy, who have more experience, more success, and they're on my team. So it shows that we have a team of people and I'm not just making this crazy decision on my own.
Yeah. And I think too, it's important, like, especially for people who start, but even people years into their business, there's a saying, right? You can't be a prophet in your hometown. Someone might know you really well and they'll be like, they might be interested in the opportunity, but they've known you for so long and they might see you shifting and growing in your business. It takes third-party verification to like get them to be like, yeah, I want to do this. Like they might see you as that friend and not that business partner yet, but they might talk to me or Sandy or your upline or someone and be like, oh, I totally resonate and relate to that. I'm ready to start this business. So that third-party verification is huge too.
I love that ad. Okay, so how does it flow?
Yeah, so let's go through the flow. First would be an intro.
Basically, that's all I'm hearing there is you don't know yet how to do this. So bring uplines into the calls because they know how to manipulate people better, in my opinion, and they know how to convince those people who might be on the edge. They're gonna know better how to convince them to join this opportunity. That's all I'm hearing.
Okay.
Let's say I was getting Neil on a 3-way call with Sandy. I would be like, Sandy, okay, meet Neil. Neil, meet Sandy. Neil and I have known each other only 8 months now. We met at an event and like, I was immediately captivated by Neil. Like he was just an interesting guy. I made it a point to go talk to him at this party. And I just like, he was fascinating to me, but I could tell he cared a lot about people, but he had a lot of like wisdom and value. And he, you know, he's a fit guy. He's into health and wellness. He's always into like, you know, improving himself, improving his circle, his network. So I was like, dude,
how can you know all of this about him if you just met him at a party or something?
Be really good at what I do. I think you should chat with Sandy. I think you'd really resonate with her and her story. So we kind of met and I'm kind of messing this up, but I basically intro how we know each other. I'm going to compliment Neil, tell him why I think he'd be great at the business. Then I'm going to go, Neil, I'm going to edify my upline. I want Neil, you to kind of talk about this, right? Say, Sandy is amazing. Like she started this business with a dream of like creating an extra few $100s for her family a month. And she's built to the top of the company by helping a lot of people. She's heart-led. She cares about people. And you leave a conversation with Sandy feeling like unstoppable. Like you can do anything. But Neil, what are the different ways to edify your upline? Like when you're like, hey, this is Sandy, this is who she is.
Okay, so the first thing that has to happen is edification starts before the meeting. Okay. Because, and this is the truth, this can't be artificial, it can't be fake. It has to be authentic. Hey, Joe, I need to get you on a call with Sandy. But let me tell you, Sandy is crushing it right now. She's a mom. She's owned several companies. She's in real estate. She's investing. She's crushing Arbonne. So I'm doing you a favor to get you on the phone with Sandy. Because what happens in network marketing is we're begging the prospect to get on the phone, but we're actually doing them a favor to get in touch with you, right? So that's the first thing. When you edify your upline or your person who's going to help you, let the prospect know that they're actually lucky to get on the phone with you and Sandy. And I had one of my clients said, hey, we want to get in front of a meeting with you. And can you come to us? And I said, no, I'm busy. They got to come to me or we'll do a call. They're lucky to get on a call with me, right? So present Sandy and Wade as they're going to spend their time with you because you guys have thousands of people on your team. Your time is valuable. So my prospect needs to know that this opportunity is going to change your life. And Wade and Sandy are going to help you. So you let me know what time, and you're not going to cancel, because if you cancel now, you make me look bad. And I don't care if you make yourself look bad. You're not going to make me look bad. So give me a time, Zoom or call. Sandy and Wade are on fire. You need to let me know when you can be in front of them.
Excuse me, let's remember that we're talking about a side hustle here. Also, a lot of people have their families, their kids, their full-time jobs. Shit can happen, and you're not allowed to cancel one of these calls. What the fuck are we even talking about? This is insane.
The first thing. What do you guys
think? The upfront, before we're even on the call, like being like, you're almost showing this like urgency or scarcity of like, this is going to be so valuable to you, where it's not like you're not begging to get them on. You're like, you need to get on with these people.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? It's like, because the beauty of this Arbonne is not just the health. It's not just the finances. You get to be around people who are working from home, who are happy, who are happily married, who are growing, who are growing in all areas of their life. Do you not want to be around these types of people? And the answer is yes.
Just because someone's working from home doesn't mean that their relationship is great and that they're happy and that everything in their life is perfect. Like, how are we connecting all of these things? Oh, this is so weird. This is weirder than I remember it being.
So, and I'm willing when I meet with people to say, you know what, this may not be the right opportunity. It really may not be. Because if you don't see this as an opportunity to get in front of Sandy and Wade, then when you are ready, let me know. And that might be 6 months from now. So I'm edifying you guys before I even get you on. And that's what we've done before with some of the people that, you know, when you met Gary and so forth, like I let him know why it's important and urgent. And then what happens, the prospect goes, wow, the prospect shows up to the meeting before you do. They're on the Zoom before you are. They're calling you, hey, are they ready to meet with me? So now that changes the mindset. Instead of, is this another MLM? What are you trying to get me with? No, I'm not trying to get you with anything.
Talk to me about, you told me this the other day, the 3 like ways to edify your upline. So you told me inferred, referred, and experiential, just like a quick overview, like of the 3 different ways.
Yeah, it's credibility. So there's 3 ways people make decisions regarding credibility. One is inferred credibility. So I would say, hey, Joe, Sandy and Wade are at the inferred credibility is like degrees, diplomas, certifications. They're at the top of the company, the paycheck, what they've done. So it's, by having done that, we're inferring that you guys are really good at what you do. So that's inferred credibility, which is the least important. The second most important one is referred credibility. Hey, you should trust me because Sandy and Wade can help you. So I'm referring the credibility. Hey, they're really good. Trust me. It's like when you refer a movie to a friend. The most important in network marketing, though, is experience credibility. Listen, Joe, I work with Sandy and Wade. They take my phone call. They're there day and night for me. They're on Zoom calls with me. They live it. I go to their home. They come to I've experienced Sandy and Wade. They trust me. They haven't abandoned me. They're not going to leave me. I've experienced this. Therefore, you can. So inferred is the degrees, the diploma, the paycheck. Referred is, hey, you should do this. And experience is, I've done this and it worked for me. I'm happy. Let's go.
This is perfect. So
good.
Yeah, it's perfect, because basically all he said is create that sense of false emergency. And we've seen this in Eric Worre's videos before, where he's like, I'm so good, and I hope you all can see and appreciate how good I am for everything that I'm giving to you, for this whole big opportunity that I'm offering you. I'm such a good person. So manipulate people into thinking, oh my God, you're all high and mighty and I'm so valued and special because I'm gonna get on this call with these people, when they're gonna do it with anyone and everyone, obviously, because they want to recruit as much as they can, right? That's the point. That's what the whole point of this is, to get these people to join the biz. How to manipulate people 101.
On the flow question, I'm going to do a 1-pager on a 3-way call with kind of typing some of this out, but intro them, how you know each other, compliment them, why you'd be great at this, edify your upline with those kind of one of or all three ways that Neil just mentioned, then the upline will take it from there. It's like up to us. We'll kind of lead the three-way call. We're going to ask questions about the prospect, their background, what they know about Arbonne, what might intrigue them. We're going to then share after we hear questions from them, we're going to understand how this could be a vehicle that fits into their life. And we're going to then share our story, relate to them, and then do the is Arbonne for you, like a 10, 15-minute overview of what Arbonne's about. Then open it back up to them for questions, for what intrigues them, and just cast a vision over them. This is what I see for you. Open it, and then are you ready to get started by the end? Like if they're ready, we should be able to sign them up right then and there. If they're a thinker and they need to talk to their husband or their wife or whatever, like we still deal with urgency, but we put it back on them. So that's kind of the flow. Then there's going to be a system of how to book it. So Sandy and I will have a Calendly link.
Can I add one thing about the flow?
Yes.
And really important, there's do's and do nots. Once you've edified your upline to your prospect, your upline now has the same relationship that you have with that person because you've edified them. So they now trust you as much as they trust their friend. Don't interrupt your upline because you don't know the process because your upline's been doing this for 3 years. You're new. So the minute I turn it over to Sandy and Wade, I'm going on mute. And unless Sandy and Wade ask me to interject, I'm not going to interrupt them. I'm not going to cut them off because even though I might be excited, I don't know what to say because I don't know the prospect. So
did you hear that? Don't interrupt your upline because you don't know what the fuck you're saying, and leave them recruit all of these people, or I guess convince these people to join. Give people some credit. My God.
It's really important once you've edified your upline, go on mute. And unless you're called on, because you guys may call on me to close it or to, hey, tell us a story or testimony, but make sure that your upline handles the call and you stay quiet in the background.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. Yeah. Your job is just to get on the call, intro it, and then be in the background. And then, yeah, you might come in at the end or for like, hey, share the story of like your vision started as like this, and you're here now, the experience, the story. So then with this, Sandy and I are going to include a calendar link where you can go and look at our calendar and book calls there. So it'll notify us via email. If you want, you can Voxer us probably and be like, hey, I just booked a 3-way call at 5:30 tonight or whatever. But we'll see it on our calendar. And then lastly, what I want to go through before we wrap this up, and I think Sandy, you're really good at this. So I think the next question would be like, okay, this is what a 3-way call is. How do I get them booked? So kind of the reach out or the verbiage or anything like you would add there.
How to ask someone to
yeah, like how to get them booked, how to ask, like how to approach it, the mindset behind it.
I think it depends where you are in your business. Like if you're a brand new consultant, then it's kind of more positioning it as, I would say, like a practice call type of thing of like, hey, I'm new to my business. I'm super excited. I'm so eager to get started and I don't know everything yet. I'd love for you to meet my friends, Sandy and Wade. They're teaching me a lot. They're so available to me. Like I love them. I know you'll love them too, because XYZ, like connect up, like what do we have in common with them? And say, when do you have 20 minutes to pop on a call? One, I think you'd be amazing at this. It may or may not be a fit for you. Either way, your network is your net worth. You need to meet these people. Like boom, something like that.
Yeah, perfect. And then what if you're a year or two in, you're not brand new, it's not a practice or training call? Like I could do one too. I was talking to
I actually one of the last companies that I was in, the guy who enrolled me said, Neil, I'm going to do your first 20 enrollments with 3-way call. And I said, no, I'm good on my own. He's like, it's not about that. We want to create duplication. Mm-hmm. So the magic number is almost 20. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if you've been in a week, a month, a year, 2 years. If you haven't enrolled personally 20 people, and maybe the number is different, like personally, use your upline, because your upline is enrolled 50, 60, 80 people, right? And there's no shame in it. Also, people have different strengths and weaknesses. So I may be good at getting people to the 3-way call, but maybe Wade and Sandy are going to close that deal for me. There's no shame in that. And you don't want to be doing your own calls until someone like Sandy and Wade have said, you know what, you're good on your own. Then do calls for your team.
This is very exhausting to listen. Like I said earlier, this is supposed to be your side hustle, and now you have to be on all these calls. I didn't know that Arbonne still does phone calls and stuff like that. It just sounds extremely exhausting for a side hustle that's not even paying you anything.
But I think getting people to your upline, it shows community and teamwork, and it shows that you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
So good.
One thing I wanted to share is for anyone on our team, if you guys have not read these books, Get Over Your Damn Self and GoPro. Like chapter 6 of Get Over Your Damn Self specifically goes into detail about the importance of three-way calls and
the
why they sometimes go
how-tos
wrong, the how-tos. Like read these books if you haven't. They're going to help you with verbiage. They're going to help you with how to eloquently speak about this business, speak about our industry, and help you be more confident about how to present this business, how to talk to prospects. So just wanted to share that guy with all of you guys. I hope you learned something, and we're excited for you to start booking a ton of three-way calls with us.
Yes. Let's make it
That's
happen.
it.
Like Coach Neil said, the magic number, I think actually is probably 30. So like if you haven't gotten Sandy and I in 30 three-way calls, no matter if you're a day in or a year in or 5 years in, like let's work towards that. And then when you've enrolled 30 people and we've gotten on 30 three-way calls, like you'll have the hang of it. But we found it's the most effective way, one of, if not the most effective ways of that third-party verification and to getting people to be like, yeah, this is a fit for me. Let's do it. So
one thing I wanted to add too, that I'm a big fan of, is getting in your prospects list. So I would use this technique a lot of times where I wanted to show this to somebody, but even before they enrolled, I said, you know what? Get one of your friends. Let's see what they think. So a friend, like as quickly as I can get in my prospects list, because I've had situations where their prospect wanted to join before they did. And I'm like, listen, they're going to join now. Either you get in before they do, or they're just going to get in directly and enroll you.
Yeah.
So sometimes a three-way call allows you to build this kind of momentum because you want to go as deep as possible, right? And with Sandy Wade allowing you to bring people in front of them all day long, now we can get some serious momentum.
Awesome. That's so good. Imagine if you're like, hey, who would you want to do this with? Let's get them on. Imagine 2 people on, then you're like, yo, you need to join because they're ready to join. It's then all of a sudden you're rolling. But that's an overview, a 101 of three-way calls. There will be a white paper with this, a 1-pager on kind of the how-to. And thank you, Coach Neil, for your time.
Neil.
Well, that was it. That was the whole call. And I think I've said everything that I wanted to say during the call. To me, this just sounded like some instructions on how to manipulate people, how to create the sense of emergency, how to make them feel like, oh my God, you're talking to these big people and this company is super successful. You should be so grateful that they found some time to hop on this call with you. And in reality, they're doing this for every single potential prospect, potential recruit. But anyways, I'm gonna wrap that up here because my lunch break is almost finished. And thank you so much for watching. Please let me know down below what you thought about this, and also let me know if you would like to see more videos on the Wades, because I find them extremely cringy and problematic. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe button if you'd like to support me, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.